The year was 571. Empires ruled the world. Persia stood powerful. Rome commanded nations. But in a quiet home in Mecca, a child was born. His name would be Muhammad. His father had already passed away. Before he even opened his eyes to the world, he was an orphan. His mother, Amina, later said, "When he was born, I saw a light that illuminated distant lands." Whether others saw signs or not, one thing is certain: mercy had entered the world. His grandfather carried him to the Kaaba, raised his hands in gratitude, and named him Muhammad, the praised one. It was a rare name then, but it would not remain rare. The child no one wanted. As was custom, children were sent to the desert. Stronger air, stronger bodies, stronger language. A woman named Halima came during a year of drought. Her animals were weak, her baby cried from hunger. There was barely any milk. And when she was offered the orphan child, she hesitated. An orphan meant no wealthy father, no reward. Every other woman refused him. Imagine that moment. The child who would guide humanity was the child no one wanted. But Halima said, "I will not return empty-handed." She took him. And from that moment, everything changed. Milk filled her breast. Her baby slept peacefully. Her animals grew strong. Her barren land flourished. Her husband looked at her and said, "Halima, you have taken a blessed child." He stayed in the desert for years, under endless skies, among silence and sand. And something beautiful happened there. The desert did not just strengthen his body, it strengthened his soul. A heart purified. One day, while playing with children, something extraordinary occurred. Angel Jibril descended. His chest was opened, his heart removed, a dark clot taken away. This was the portion of Satan in you. His heart was washed with Zamzam, purified, returned. The children ran in fear, but he stood alive, calm, prepared. From childhood, he was being guarded. The loneliness of 6 years old. At 6 years old, he traveled with his mother to Yathrib. They visited his father's grave. A child standing before a grave he never knew. On the journey back, his mother became ill, and in a place called Abwa, she died. 6 years old. No father, now no mother. Pause and imagine that. A small boy in the desert, watching his only remaining parent disappear. He would later comfort the grieving, but first, he would taste grief. He would later speak about patience, but first, he would learn it. Love, then loss again. His grandfather loved him deeply. Near the Kaaba, a seat was reserved for the chief. No one sat there, except this child. When others tried to move him, the old man would say, "Leave him, he has a future." But at 8 years old, he buried his grandfather too. Another loss, another silence. The uncle who protected him. His uncle, Abu Talib, took him in. Not wealthy, but honorable. He loved him like his own son. For 40 years, this uncle would defend him even when the world turned against him. Loyalty surrounded him long before followers did. A sign in Syria. At 12 years old, he traveled north with his uncle. In a town called Busra, A monk watched him carefully. He noticed signs. He said, "This child will be a mercy to all people." Even before revelation, people sensed something. Strength without violence. As a teenager, tribal wars erupted. He did not seek glory in battle. He did not chase blood. He gathered arrows for his uncles. He witnessed conflict without becoming consumed by it. Power without recklessness. Justice before revelation. After the wars, a man was cheated in Mecca. He cried publicly for help. Most ignored him, but a group gathered and formed a pact to defend the oppressed. Muhammad stood among them. Years later, he would say, "I would still answer that call." Justice was already in his heart before it was commanded from heaven. The shepherd and the silence. He worked as a shepherd. Think about that. Long hours, alone, watching sheep under open sky. Shepherding teaches patience. It teaches responsibility. It teaches strong strength. Leaders are not formed in noise. They are formed in solitude. A marriage built on character. At 25, he traveled for trade on behalf of a noblewoman named Khadija. She observed him carefully. His honesty, his dignity, his calm speech. She chose him. He accepted. She was 40. He was 25. He never married another woman while she lived. She became his comfort, his strength, his first believer. Behind the greatest missions stand the strongest hearts. The moment of wisdom. At 35, the Kaaba was rebuilt. When it came time to place the black stone, tension exploded. Each tribe wanted the honor. Swords were almost drawn. Then someone said, "Let the first man who enters decide." He walked in. They said, "Al-Amin," the trustworthy. He placed the stone on a cloth, invited every tribe to lift it together, then placed it himself. Conflict dissolved. Wisdom prevailed. Before he was a prophet, he was already trusted. The man he had become. By 40 years old, he was known across Mecca as Al-Amin. He never drank wine, never bowed to idols, never chased corruption. He helped the poor, maintained family ties, honored guests, kept promises. Khadija once described him. "You support the needy, you carry burdens, you stand for truth." He was already prepared, already refined, already different. The cave was waiting. For 40 years, life shaped him. Loss shaped him. Responsibility shaped him. Trade shaped him. Silence shaped him. Justice shaped him. The orphan of Mecca was about to stand alone in a cave, and the world was about to change. But when revelation came, it did not fall on an untested man. It fell on a heart that had known grief, on a soul that had known solitude, on a character that had already proven itself. And that is why, when heaven finally spoke, humanity listened.